Hey, Mike, something wrong?
This old house is like...
Burdened with an old house in need of repairs? Call Homevestors, the We Buy Ugly Houses people. We'll take the load off your shoulders. Call 1-800-44-BUYER.
It's Wheel Loves New York week.
Here we are. Here we are.
I love New York.
Take a look at New York's historical Grand Central Station. Don't miss it next Wheel.
Tonight at 7 on TV8. 8 News Storm Tracker Weather is sponsored by Bruce's Super Body Shops, where you never pay more than your deductible.
Meteorologist Tim Pandagis has taken his 8 News day trippers to dozens of spots across our region.
And this week he's in Shockoe Bottom at the Virginia Holocaust Museum.
Located off of Carey Street in downtown Richmond, you'll find a museum dedicated to the remembrance of those who suffered and perished during the Holocaust. In particular, an emphasis is placed on those lost who were relatives or friends of those here in Virginia. Today, we take 8 News day trippers to the Virginia Holocaust Museum.
The Richmond community deserves an educational place like this where they can come and learn about the Holocaust without having to drive 2 hours up to D.C., but also that there's a story that our Richmond survivors have that's worth telling.
One of the exhibits in the museum tells the story of one of Richmond's youngest Holocaust survivors and co-founder of the museum, Jay Ibsen, whose family escaped capture by living underground for months during World War II. We're here at an exhibit called Paskovsky's Farm, which is actually a bunker underground, where Jay, one of the founding members of the museum, lived for 3 months with 12 other people to avoid capture by Lithuanian authorities. This past January marked 7 decades since the liberation of Auschwitz, and the museum is launching a new traveling exhibit to commemorate it.
We're creating a traveling exhibit for the 70th anniversary of the liberation of Auschwitz, which is this year. This is going to allow us to have a permanent exhibit that the museum owns, that's based on museum material, that we can ship out to other institutions around the country.
Walking through the museum, you become immersed not only in the hardships and terror of the Holocaust, but also the Allied attempts and successes at liberating those devastating concentration camps that were built throughout Europe.
The sort of crown jewel, I suppose, of the museum, the most recent permanent exhibit that we've added, the Nuremberg courtroom. The Nuremberg courtroom tells the story of the trial of the major Nazi war criminals.
We're standing in the only full-size replica in the world of Courtroom 600 in Nuremberg, the site of where the Nazis were held accountable for their crimes and tried. Over here, the defendants, the highest-ranking Nazi officers captured during the war. And on this side, the judges, 2 from each country, Russia, Britain, France, and the United States. The Virginia Holocaust Museum uses its exhibits to educate its visitors and help them leave with a better understanding of what prisoners of the camps went through nearly 70 years ago. Reporting in Richmond, Virginia, I'm meteorologist Tim Pandagis.
And across central Virginia this afternoon, clouds remain locked in over the area, and we have moisture continuing to stream up out of the Gulf of Mexico over us here, so it's producing a band of rain. Moving through the Carolinas, another band lining up down to the south of us. Oh, and by the way, for those of you worried about the clouds and the somewhat cooler weather today, how about being out here in the Rockies? It's snowing in parts of Montana and over into portions of Wyoming where they still have